We got audio, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on the podcast, the HD Hotline. Crack a cold one because we are now rolling.
A few people patiently waiting for that one.
You may be wondering, what the hell, guys? 6:30, and you just start. Well, this is cars, and cars are mean to you sometimes. And we just finished up 2 UFI gated turbo kits on the VDJ 70 series, and I'm getting a phone call. We shall take this one live on air for a second. I'll give you a call back in a bit. Yeah, I'm just live on air. I'm certainly live on air. Manny, I'll put you on speaker. We got 9 people watching, all right? Yeah, all right.
Dr. Manny?
We got first caller in, Manny from Desta Automotive. How can I help you today, sir?
Hey mate, do you have a Tesla for 1HZ?
Sure do, mate. Got a couple different options on the shelf.
Yeah, I would like to get a G250.
I can certainly... G250, not available, mate. It would be a G333 is what you're looking at for the 1HZ there.
What about G200?
Yeah, also available. Got those coming in the next couple of weeks.
All right, easy. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, mate. We'll place your
See you,
order.
mate.
See you, mate.
Bye.
All right. I gotta make sure. I think my phone is on, and we gotta post a story about this bitch. Let people know we are rolling. We have 9 people, I believe, so far. How's everyone's day doing? If you're watching, just drop a chat. I don't know who's watching from where, but drop a chat. Say good day, so we know at least there is one human out there entertaining this nonsense. Alrighty. Let's turn our phone on. We have a stool.
Now we have a chair.
We have upgraded to a stool.
Great advancements have been made.
Pasco, do I have to turn my phone on or anything, or is it just good to roll? Eros is back. Eros, I remember you, mate. Hey?
Call routing, call queue live.
G'day, Robert. G'day, Robert. Pascal, I just want to make sure my phones can take calls there. Hey, yeah, you try first. Make sure the phone's working. Alrighty, we have behind me a green tree. The green tree is we're giving back to the environment. We tune a lot of diesel engines here, and if we can start to add some level of greenery to the room, then we are being eco-friendly. So let's get a bit of applause going for the green tree here. You calling in? Yep, that works. Can confirm. Calls are working. I'm going to bounce your call 100 times. All right, Pasco, throw up a story. You guys are basically here before things have even gotten started. We are behind on time massively today. Have we turned down the stream deck noises? Because remember last time they were too high? Yep, cool. Alrighty. G'day everybody and welcome to the HD Auto Hotline. We are now live with people watching. Human beings out there on the internet watching us talk. My name is Hayden and this is Matt. Say g'day, Matt.
G'day.
G'day to the friendly
4 people watching.
No, don't worry about that. There's a million people watching. So, Eros, so the way it works is there's a couple of different things we're going to do. So, the way it works is obviously the order value has to exceed $500. That's rule 1. You can't order something that is just like a $10, like a lanyard, and receive $500 back. So the order value A has to be greater than $500. It can just be $500, but it has to be $500 or greater. Rule number 2, yes, if you order from the website during this and you're in the chat and you're talking to us, then you do go in the chance to receive $500 off. So that is how it works. So we're going to do phone calls. If you need to make an inquiry over the phone, we'll talk to you about it live. If not, make an inquiry via the chat and we will talk back to you directly. And once you place that order, you go on the chance to win $500 off. You're already on it. All right,
man.
Eros,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So let's hear before you order, Eros. What are you ordering? What is in your car? Because I'd love to talk about it. So at least everyone watching here, that's kind of the idea. Give us a bit of an idea. It's got to be a turbo.
We should remind everyone last time how good the odds were. Like,
Yeah.
a 1 of 1 chance.
So what happened 2 weeks ago when Lockie was in this stream? Lockie, he called up and he made an inquiry about getting an airbox for his 80 series. He's booked in a couple of weeks from now to get a 12mm pump and on his 1H shed that has already had a UFI turbo fitted to it. And then he said, I want to get an airbox as well. And he called us up, asked for some recommendations, and obviously we had our HD Auto 80 series airbox, which he jumped on. He placed the order live on air. After that, he literally won $500 off his order because he was the only one on our very first episode to place that order. So he had a 100% chance of winning.
And $500, he was going to spend that anyway.
He was going to get
buy
it.
the airbox anyway.
He was
so
going to get it
$500
anyway,
off.
so he got
Yeah.
$500 off. Eros PDI front mount intercooler and a stainless steel map sensor. That's awesome.
Nice, my kind of guy.
Yeah.
KD kind of.
Matt's got one of those. Tell us about it, Matt.
I'm happy with the PDI on mine. It fits nice. It's probably the best looking option just in terms of like how it's shaped to fit the front of the radiator. So yeah, long story short, man, you can't go wrong with a PDI on an N70. You got a 2013, you're a smart man. You've got a facelift model. Those are the good ones.
Those facelift model N70 Toyota Hiluxes are one of my favorite to tune. In dead standard form, they make about 130 horsepower at the rear wheels. Just remember, if you are going to tune your N70 Toyota Hilux, that you go and get a clutch, because if you are going to fit an intercooler, presumably you're also going to tune it, or it maybe is already tuned.
Is she auto or manual Eros?
Yeah, I should have asked that question.
Question 1.
While we wait for Eros to get back to us, if you're going to tune an N70 Toyota Hilux, one of the first things you have to do is do a clutch on it. A lot of people, we hear this all the time. You have a N70 Toyota Hilux and you go and put a clutch on it. You put like an XCD whatever clutch on it, and literally the first thing that happens is it slips on the dyno. The best clutch kit on the market we find for the N70 is the BRC. Obviously yours is auto error, so I'll go into that in a minute. But BRC with a flywheel kit, amazing, 100%. That's what Matt's got in his car.
BRC, mint.
So Eros, for your automatic, for that one, you're gonna wanna, like, you can run it standard. 2013, it's obviously a 4-speed auto, the A340. You benefit a lot from fitting one of our Transgo valve body kits to that. So if you have a look on the website for the Transgo A340 valve body kit, we got them in stock. Pasco's gonna go and get me one and I'll show you. They're a couple $100. I think they're like $299, and they're a little valve body kit that you can fit DIY at home. They come with instructions, how to do it, and it's like the equivalent of upgrading your clutch in a manual car when you tune it. It just makes it shift nicer, more line pressure, more fluid getting up to those clutch packs and things like that in the transmission. Pasco's going to grab that for me. So that's the wrong one. I'll leave it here anyway, and I'll talk about that in a second. So he gave me the wrong one, but I'll run over that one in a second as well. Think a bloke knows about his transmission valve body kits. I guess not. Alrighty, so this is it here. This is the Transgo A340 valve body kit. This kit here, it is DIY fitment. It comes with everything you need, as well as the gasket, etc., to fit up to your Toyota Hilux at home if you want. So I think they're like $300, and that's pretty much the equivalent of upgrading your clutch in your manual. So 100% recommend that. Alrighty, Robert. Robert has an older TD04 kit for his LN65. So it's back in the day we did a Toyota Hilux TD04 turbo kit. And Robert has got one of those fitted to his LN65 Hilux with the newer 3L engine. We rebuilt the pump and injectors already, and we have to book it in for a dyno at some point once it's on the road. Yeah, no worries. Hit us up, Robert. LM106 dyno tune, you can definitely do that one. They are 850. We do a lot of road tuning and also dyno tuning with those ones to get a perfect result with those every time. So it's literally the first car we ever spent time tuning. So got heaps of experience with those things and absolutely love them. Pasco, how'd you go with the post? You get summed up? Beautiful. Very good. Ryan, join the chat, my friend. You gotta send us in some messages. We got questions to answer. Ryan, tell us they won't be able to hear you, but what is your most common question? I'll repeat it out that you get asked on a daily basis here at HD Auto.
They change. They go through seasons.
Yep.
That's something that's funny to touch on. Like we get seasons. We have like one HZ week, and we have like TD42 week. And like we can't predict it. It just happens. You just go with it.
Correct.
Have you got a mic for Ryan?
What week are we having at the moment? I think we have an N80 week, aren't we?
Actually, yes. A fair few questions of N80s.
Yeah.
A fair few questions of KDs still.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, N80s are probably the big topic right now for us. I think this sort of happens when you have your own work ute that is a 260 horsepower N80 two-wheel drive, and then just somehow magic happens, and suddenly people know you have that. Somehow you don't know how. I mean, how can everyone on the street definitely knows we have one.
It's not just that. There's another thing happening too. Like my theory on it is like N70s are cheap, but N80s are getting to just the right price, where it's like, if you're going to spend sort of like 15, 18 grand on an N70, it's like, you can probably stretch to like 30 for an N80. It's not like a gigantic gap, you know what I mean? Like the 2015 to like 2019 ones are getting pretty cheap now.
Yes.
So I think naturally, like you're the second, third owner, you're going to want to modify it.
Eros, for the map sensor, it is best to just replace it with the stainless one. They do more than just, like you can just delete it, but putting the stainless one on there, it's going to stop any oil from getting on that sensor, and it's going to dampen some of the air hitting that sensor as well, so, and diffuse it. I definitely recommend putting a stainless steel map sensor on rather than just deleting it. It's a long-term fix. Just deleting it is a short-term fix, and it's still fine depending on how your crankcase ventilation system is set up. But I would definitely recommend just getting the stainless one, setting and forgetting, and be done with it. And of course, I say that, let's not forget I sell them, so I would prefer you bought one than didn't buy one. not gonna beat around the bush, mate. I'm gonna be honest about that. Not gonna be, yeah. We got some text messages coming in, have we? Robert? Robert has, how can I get Robert how can I open that in a separate tab?
Whoa, that's nice.
All right,
I'll just up on mine if you want to think of that.
Yours is not on here, hold on. This one's connected to the computer. We're gonna take a look at, see you later, Ryan. We're gonna take a look at Robert's LN65 Hilux. Give me 2 seconds and I'll get it all ready to rock and roll. Am I missing calls there, Pasco? I think there was a missed call. There was, yeah. Yeah, there's someone, Josh is trying to call in. My phone's not ringing. I missed 3 calls. I might give him a call back. Robert, have a look at that thing. I'm going to open this in a new tab. Everyone, let's take a look at Robert's LN65 Toyota Hilux. Look at the KC headlights on that big girl.
That's tough.
That is pretty cool, man. You've had a bit of a rebuild on that thing. It's looking incredible. So there you go, guys. That is Robert's. That's so cool. I love seeing these builds, guys. Send us photos of your builds into the chat.
Looks really like USA spec.
Yeah. I missed some calls from this number, so I'm going to start. I don't know what's going on with the phones, but I can see that I missed a call, so I'm going to call it back. Although I might shoot him a message first because he may just be calling in general. Imagine getting this. Hey, mate.
Poor bloke just wants to know where his turbo's at.
Yeah. Just hang on. Send him a little message through. Pasco, can you shoot up an Instagram story, please? Just about like a technical question. It's just so like, you know, we'll do like a tech run through. So ask us some technical questions and we'll answer them live on air. I'll get this out of the way if you want, because I don't. We'll get some tech questions going up.
Eros is asking about the map sensor.
I've already answered that one about the map sensor. Yeah. Yeah. So we got Rip the Dreams asking, have you tuned many N70s with Flex Pro VNT 44mm turbos, and are they any good? Yeah, I've tuned hundreds of N70s with the Flex Pro VNT. They are at the top of my list as a personal preference for VNT turbos on the N70. Price point, first of all, I think they're $1,800. So that's crazy. You're getting a whole turbo with a billet compressor wheel for $1,800. So that's the first thing that I absolutely love about them, is that they're entirely affordable. The second thing is that they seem to be pretty durable. Like, I mean, we have not had any issues with the Flex VNTs. A couple of years ago, we had to reset some of the VNT starting positions on them. That was it, that we just could do that on the car. So yeah, I absolutely rate them, the Flex Pro VNTs. They're super responsive. They are, yeah, they're a great turbo. They bolt on, they make about 250 horsepower to, you know, you could really stretch them out to 260 on a good day. And yeah, that's 100% rate those turbos. If you have any other more questions about the Flex Pro VNT, shoot them through and I'll answer them now. Eros, nice simple one. How long is shipping after ordering? Shipping after ordering for the Intercooler kit will ship directly out of Perth, that one. So
No, we got them in stock.
Oh, we got them in stock?
We can
Yeah.
do that from here. We can
So,
do it now.
Eros,
We can do that now if you're red hot.
Eros, we're not going to beat around the bush here, mate. I'm going to have someone ship that for you right now.
Well, I can go downstairs and ship that right now. We have that. in
Eros,
stock.
I'm going to ship it for you right now. Matt's going to ship it for you right
Yeah,
now.
Not even air rating. Like, we can actually do that. We have N70.
Eros, keep an eye on your text messages and your emails. You're about to get a notification. You're about to have the quickest dispatch known to mankind. You've just ordered it. We are going to ship it right now. So keep an eye out for that one. And of course, if you've placed that order, you are now in the running to win $500 off your order. You are now got 100% chances of doing that because you're the only one that's doing that. So. All right, let's go back to Nick's question. Nick has got a 2025 BT50 Auto on 33s and wanting 200 horsepower to 210. What mods will I need to achieve that? First of all, well, it's auto, so that answers the first question I was going to ask. So 200 to 210 horsepower. So on the 4JJ3 platform, which is what you have there, doing a literally just a ECU remap or ECU shop Pro Boost is going to achieve those results. I recommend going for the ECU Shop Pro Boost, which is the piggyback module for the 4JJ3s, because you will definitely achieve those sorts of numbers, even with the DPF in place. So that is literally all you need to do to get 200 to 210 horsepower. If you want to go a bit further with it, and you want to make a bit more horsepower, the first thing you do is a turbo back exhaust system. So doing a 3-inch turbo back exhaust system, obviously, that will mean that you can open up the engine a bit more without having to worry about the DPF. You should be able to achieve about 220 to 230 horsepower with the ECU Shop Pro Boost, depending on what other wheel size and how heavy your tray is and how it reads on the dyno and things like that. So that is all you need to do to achieve 200 to 210 horsepower on a 4JJ3 in your 2025 BT50. Being that it is a 2025 BT50, it's going to have a gateway on the ECU, so like not everybody can just go and tune that one. There are some more specialized shops that do it, and that's also why I recommend going with the ECU Shop Pro Boost, because it negates that security gateway entirely and just allows the tuner to calibrate the ECU based on the ECU Shop Pro Boost. So that's my recommendation there, ECU Shop Pro Boost. All right, Chris currently owns an FZJ80. You've owned it for about 8 years, most reliable 4B out of any of your mates. However, it's a slug. What are your thoughts on a turbo FZ versus engine conversion? Well, Chris, I have had both of these and I still own many of these engines. So I have a 400 horsepower turbo 1FZ like race truck, off-road truck, however you want to call it myself. It's on 37-inch treps. It's used just to get the life beat out of it at off-road parks. The beauty of that engine is when I turboed it, it made a heap of power, and I have absolutely abused the hell out of it. And even with 500,000 Ks on the clock, it hasn't given me any dramas. The problem you're going to have with doing a turbo 1FZ in an 80 series is that no matter which way you do it, you're going to spend around 10 to 12 grand in parts. So going and spending that kind of money, you're really investing in maintaining and keeping that engine for like another 8 years, for example. The reason it adds up so quickly is because you've got things to consider, like a hull tech, you've got injectors, so a fuel system, fuel pumps, tuning it, clutch kit or valve body, depending on whether it's an auto or a manual. You've got the turbo kit itself. You know, all adds up to about $10,000 in parts and about $20,000 if you're going to pay a shop drive in, drive out to fit it all, tune it up and send it out the door. So that is the pros of the 1FZ in terms of making power. Now going for the FT or FTE, I always recommend converting to an FTE if you're going to do it. People are scared of the electronics because they seem complicated, and it's not, you know, but it's really not. Your car already has an ECU and your car already has an engine loom, so it's not like you're adding electronics necessarily. The FTE is such a more refined version of that engine. You can have a lot of horsepower with no smoke. Now the drawbacks to doing an FTE, even with some amount of power, is that you're going to spend around $40,000 to $45,000 doing that conversion. That's fine for, like, you know, for me, if you, like, in my mind, if you're going to keep that car forever, and I absolutely love 80 series Land Cruisers, so that's a no-brainer investment for me. I'm happy to go and drop 40 to 45 grand on that car, knowing that I'm going to keep it forever, especially now that it's got a much more modern engine conversion in it. You just got to be ready to spend the money. It's something you just won't be disappointed in at all. They're such a great engine. They sound amazing. They work amazing. So yeah, that's the difference. You know, 20 grand versus 40 grand, drive in, drive out sort of value there. We got a first call coming in, so I'm going to have to skim over your question, Matthew Cook, but I will get to it. Hey, g'day, Brock. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, thank you, mate. You've got Hayden here.
How you going?
Good, man. How can I help?
I'm just ringing up to make an order on a turbo.
Yeah, beautiful, man. We can definitely do that for you. You're giving Eros a run for his money here, though, if you're watching the live
I'm going to
stream.
go shoot these in a minute.
Yeah, I was watching the live.
Well, at the moment, you're going into a 50-50 split with Eros, just so you know.
50-50, yeah, I think it was 100%. So.
Yeah. That's cool, man. 50-50 is a pretty good odds. So, what turbo are you looking at order?
The 44mm Flex Pro VNT for the 1KD.
Yeah, beautiful, man. I love that
Sure
thing. So, Matt's going to
We've got
organise that
We've got
all for you
in
now.
stock too.
Brock, I can see I've got... Yeah?
Could I get the stud and gasket kit with it too?
Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. Matt will throw that in. Those ones as well, you got to take the manifold off your engine on the 1KD Hilux to actually get the turbo off if you want to do like a nice job. Matt's going to throw in there as well, like just an exhaust manifold gasket at about $50. So hope that's cool with you, bro. What's done to your car already?
I've got a PDI front mount, fat bar snorkel, fat bars airbox, range exhaust.
Yep. Have you had it tuned yet, or still standard?
Nah, I'm getting it. I'm booked in next month to get it tuned.
Oh yeah, nice, man. With us, or you got it booked in somewhere else?
Nah, with you.
Oh yep, beautiful. Yep. Very good. I've got your details in our system, Brock. So obviously we've dealt with you before, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah. I called him probably a month ago.
Yeah, nice, man.
Oh, I actually haven't, but yeah, I would have probably when I rung up and booked the tune.
Yep.
Probably didn't have to run.
I'll have a little look in our system if you jump on here, Matt. Man, that's such a good thing to add. What year is your Hilux?
09.
Yep, nice. So you're going to probably have a... do you know... What's your reg... Oh, don't, probably...
Probably not read that out.
December.
Oh, sweet. Being a December 2009, that'll be an 18 code, won't it?
December will be an 18.
Yeah, so 18 code
That's
injectors.
good.
That's the latest model injector that you can get in those Hiluxes. And with your front mount, that turbo and all that, man, I reckon you should be able to go about 200 horsepower. So, yeah.
Yep, nice.
I think, Matt, just go and check the email. Go back to this here. Type in his name. Bro. Brock, if you want, if you're happy with every man, you just want to go ahead on that one, Matt will grab, send you a text now and grab an email address off you if he doesn't already have it. Well, he does, yeah.
Got
So
it.
we'll shoot that through to you now, man. It'll have a little link just to pay for that order. And then, yeah, happy days, man. You go into the running to win 500 bucks off it. 50-50 chance of winning 500 bucks off that bitch. So.
Not too easy, thank you.
All right, thank you, Colin Brock. Have you got any other questions or is anything else I can help you out with?
That's all, thanks.
All right, love your work, man. Appreciate it. And Matt's going to shoot that through now, and we obviously have those in stock on the shelf. So yeah, we'll
look forward to tuning the big girl for you.
Yeah, look forward to seeing you, man.
Yeah, you too. No worries. Thanks for that.
All right, cheers, Brock. Hopefully you're in the running, mate. So I'll talk to you.
Thank you. See
See
ya.
ya. There you go.
Boys are going head to head.
The boys are going head to head. Eros, Brock, 50-50 chance of taking 500 bucks off their order. You know, pretty good odds if you ask me. It's not many chances you get to win a 500.
100% from last week.
Yeah, we've unfortunately halved Eros. Eros is sweating at the moment. I'm not going to lie. It's a, you know, it's a rough world out there. Matt, once you've done that, you got to go ship Eros's order.
Yeah, I'm literally going to go
So
do
you
that.
finish that bitch up, and then if Pasco's going to have to jump in if I get another call in a minute. So thank you, Brock. Matt's going to shoot that over to you now. So keep an eye out, and thank you for the call in, and thank you for the order. Alrighty, Matthew Cook, you did a 4JJ1. Just don't want to miss these. Make sure I didn't miss any questions. Going back to Chris, the FT is simple and requires no engineering. FT is the pick more complicated and needs engineering. There should be no need that yeah, that is a good question. Like engineering the conversion between FT and FTE is a real interesting one because it is the same block. It's the same 1H engine. One just has an EFI fuel system and one has a mechanical fuel system. So just take it off, Matt, before you go down and make
Because everyone wants to hear me ship.
Yeah, Eros needs to live hear you ship with your microphone.
We could probably do that with like meta glasses, mate. It's like a little corner box drops in. You see
So converting to an FTE, I mean, like if you're in Queensland, engineering is super simple. Like if you've done a decent job of that conversion, engineering is a $300 at most process to convert and mod plate your FTE conversion. You have to do it anyway, I think, going from petrol to diesel. Don't quote me on that because I don't know for sure, but you know, if you were to drop it in, man, it's a couple $100 to engineer that thing, irrespective to what engine you're putting in it, as long as it's legal and done properly. So yeah, Matthew Cook, he did a 4JJ1 engine conversion into his Patrol, and I can't complain putting out 200 kilowatt at the wheels. That's awesome, man. What was in the Patrol first? I'm guessing a ZD30 because, you know, rip that sucker out and put a 4J1 in and make 200 kilowatt at the wheels. Happy days. Is it worth upgrading with the turbo from the Flex 44 to something different? You just don't know. If you already have a Flex 44 and you're making 200 kilowatt at the wheels, man, that is a perfect combination. You're really only going to want to change it up for more power if you're going to add like a bigger fuel system to match it. But 200 kilowatt at the wheels in a Nissan Patrol with a 4J in it, man, that sounds like a killer combo. And that Flex 44 will be, you know, loving it. So that is, I'd leave it there. I can't really think of much of an upgrade compared to what you've currently got now as far as that goes. But if you have any more specific questions, just shoot them into the chat and I'll get to them right away. Jesse Main, hey guys, not sure if this has been covered yet, but what would you recommend as a good starter list mods for N80 Hilux, aiming some good numbers along with keeping reliability? This seems to be a really common question. The N80 Toyota Hilux is quickly becoming one of our most popular asked for vehicles on our phones for sure. I've said it before, but we have an N80 Hilux of our own. It's a 2017 model, and as far as upgrading, it really does depend on what year model you're starting with. If you have a pre-facelift, they make about 130 horsepower at the rear wheels standard, and much like the N70 Toyota Hilux, you got to upgrade the clutch first before you even tune it. Again, we go with the BRC. So whether it's a facelift or pre-facelift manual, clutch first, that's item number one. Then if it's automatic, obviously you can do transmission tunes to help that out as well. Following that, as far as an upgrade goes, you can leave the DPF in place, obviously, if it's a road car, and you can get about that 170 horsepower to 180 horsepower at the rear wheels, take the torque up from about 350 newton meters to about 480, so substantial gains there in both torque and power. And then after that, you're pretty well leaving it down to the next upgrade, which would be a fuel system, like injectors being number 1, and then the common rail diesel pump being number 2. The common rail diesel pump is maxed out about that 260 horsepower, or 200 kilowatts, call it, with some plus 30s. And then the standard injectors are only good for about 200 to 220, really pushed to the limit. So fuel system upgrades, injectors number 1, fuel pump comes second, and then with a stroker pump and injectors and a flex 44mm gated turbo, you would be looking up around that 300 horsepower mark. So that's pretty much the sequence of upgrading a 1GD that I found to be most popular. Our work ute has a flex 44mm gated turbo, set of plus 30s, standard airbox, standard intercooler, turbo back 3-inch exhaust, and that makes 260 horsepower at the wheels and 650 newton meters of torque, and that thing is an absolute monster. Anyone is welcome to come and test drive that car if you're local and try before you buy. That thing is a absolute machine. So hopefully that answers your question, Jesse. I have no concerns about reliability at any of these numbers with these engines, because I'm telling you, we flogged the absolute living life out of our one and has no drums at all. All right. James Carey is asking, random question, but do you know anyone who is good in CAD and can make me up a cross member for an 80 series? I'd probably hit up someone like Hyperfab or Sea and Land Fabrication if they're doing custom work. Those two people are definitely capable on the old CAD and Fusion and whatnot, and can definitely draw you up and have something cut. I don't see an issue with them doing that at all. Both do good work. Rip the Dreams is asking, are the Flex Pro VNT 44mm turbos more whiny than the stock ones? They're a little bit more spooly. I wouldn't say they're more whiny. The noise of a turbo really comes down to what airbox, intake, and exhaust you're running, because those things are massive diffusers of noise, like mufflers of noise. If you're running like a plastic pipe, it's going to make a different noise to a stainless pipe. And if you're running a plastic airbox, it's going to have less noise than a steel alloy or stainless steel airbox. So it really just depends on what is connected to that turbo. You can put a really high performance turbo on an engine and still be running standard everything, and it sounds exactly the same. So no worries, Matt. That is all good as far as advice goes. Jaden is asking, hey guys, what is the current lead time for a tune on a HDJ79, and how far away are we from leasing the N80 airbox? Let's find out how far away the N80 airboxes are. I will shoot a message off to our team right now and find out for you, and I'll get back to you. Give me 2 seconds. I will let you know very shortly about the airbox. Now, the HDJ79 tune, at the moment, we would have to just find a date before the end of the year, basically. We're booked out till December, but because that's such a common job that we do, we may finish another job sooner, and it opens up some time. We don't book any work on Thursdays and Fridays, so because we have so much work Monday to Wednesday. So if we finish up something earlier than we expected on a Wednesday, we may be able to call you and sneak in a date last minute or something like that. That's generally what I find is the best answer. And as far as the airboxes for the N80, we're going to have them arriving next week. Just got word back, so they're finished for next week. So that is when that is going to be ready. So did you just ship that order for Eros? Yeah. Eros, if you're still watching, your order is literally been dispatched. That is how real this shit is, and your order.
Yeah, I'll show you.
Oh, that's it? Matt is holding. Hold on.
Yeah.
That is your intercooler.
That's on the way out to you, brother.
That is happening. That is leaving the building. That is on its way to you, Eros. Your intercooler order has been shipped already. Tell me one other shop.
Where are you going to get that anywhere else?
Tell me another shop in Australia that will ship your intercooler at 7 p.m. on a Thursday night. I don't think it exists.
We do it for fun sometimes to throw people off. People will get like a small arms, like a throttle control or something like that. Ship at this kind of time of night. Like imagine getting a text message, you just place an order at like 7 p.m.
If you think that, where I love it, bro. So people, I don't think they understand what HD Automotive is. HD is a place that we have all the parts here. If we don't have the parts here, we have agreements with suppliers to get the parts to you quickly. But we carry all our fast movers here on the shelf. So when you order stuff and you get a text at 7 p.m. at night saying, bang, your order's been shipped, that's because we are literally still shipping it. No shit. That's what happens.
We are playing games, we'll do it.
Yeah, we're very confident about that. So. Jaden, I hope I answered your question about your cruiser. If you want to book in, just hit us up and we will probably be able to work out a time, given that's such a common job that we do. We'll be able to work out a time for you there, mate. Matt has asked, what's involved with converting a H150F to H152? What parts need to be swapped over? Okay, so H152 transmission is the transmission that you get out of a 2016 onwards VDJ 79 series. The difference is the second gear and fifth gear. They have a taller fifth and a taller second. So when you put your car in fifth on the highway, if you have a standard 80 series, it's probably going to be revving around 2.4 to 2.5. Now, that's actually not the end of the world. An engine revving at 2.4 to 2.5 is not a bad thing. It's actually relatively efficient. It's where the manufacturer designed that engine to rev at 100 if your car is standard. So I don't flat out just recommending that every single person out there just goes and slams a H152 into their, say for example, non-turbo 1HZ with no plans to turbocharge it, because it's below the peak torque of that engine and it's going to struggle. So if you are going to upgrade to a H152, I will tell you what you need to do it, but the more important thing is you need to question whether or not it's something worth doing, because you need to kind of have the modifications to your car somewhat to make the swap worth it. So having a bit more power at a lower RPM, so like a tune, if you have an FTE, for example, like a Unichip, intercooler and a turbo, you're going to be able to drop that peak torque area lower in the RPM and have more power at that 2000 RPM mark is where it's going to sit on the highway now. So, so that is my recommendation there. Okay, so yeah, FT and a Troopy. Yeah, I'll tell you. Tell me the mods that it's already got. Tell me if it's got a turbo. Tell me if it's got Unichip, intercooler, stuff like that, and I'll keep going. But I'll tell you how to actually do it as well. So you can get any H152 that's come out of like a 2016 plus 79 series, or buy a brand new one. Once you've done that, you simply need to put the 14 spline input shaft from a HDJ onto that, and then it will just bolt up to your HDJ after that. So that's literally how it works. They're the same gearbox otherwise. We do the swaps here for people, so they're very popular. We sell like 4 to 5 a day of them every single day. That's how off their head they are. And people love them. I think there's nothing better than getting a brand new gearbox for your 20-year-old cruiser, 25-year-old cruiser. That's an upgrade, sub $5,000. So yeah, happy days. Brock, Matt's just getting back to email now, I can see. So
Good questions in there.
yeah,
A few good ones.
these are really good questions, guys. So keep them rolling in, hot and heavy.
We're getting some wild orders come through tonight too.
They, if you are watching, and especially Brock and Eros, who have already placed orders tonight for items, look, I got a theory that you may not want to just run out and tell everyone because you want to place the order. You don't want your mates also placing an order, because then they're going to shorten your odds down a little bit. But tell your friends. You can't believe it. HD Automotive's
Or sabotage your friends and tell everyone else.
Sabotage the friends. Throw them under the bus. $500 off your order. Pasco runs the raffle at the end of this, which tonight, I'm having fun. So I'm having a lot of fun. So we'll probably keep rolling for another like 45 minutes to an hour, depending who's still interested. We know we'll kind of let it fizzle out a little bit on its own tonight, because we were late. We owe it to you guys. We don't want to just, Yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. It's seriously, it's the most humbling thing to know that people appreciate the advice that we give and appreciate the information that we have. It's one of the best feelings ever, and I'm so grateful that I get the opportunity to share this knowledge with you guys. When I'm an hour and a half late to my own podcast because cars are cars and dyno tuning's dyno tuning, and you guys are still here to listen, I absolutely love it and appreciate it. So thank you to everyone who was patient tonight and waited. No worries. So Jaden is getting his FTE built with Donnelly at the moment. The engine's already been built by Donnelly. and you're going to get it running in a few weeks, give us a call. I'm ready to go. I'll truck it down from Central Queensland. That's all. Yeah, no worries. Truck it down, man. Just stay in touch with us and we'll be able to work with you on that one. So that's not a problem at all, mate. Alrighty, we got a new message. I can't get any username. I have an FTE with 4-speed, a green wheel G turbo, PDR front mount, pre-tuned unit chip from you guys, wholesale automotive valve body and torque converter. What would injectors change in torque and power? So we do a high flow injector for that would work really well with the green wheel and the 4-speed auto. Because it's auto, you don't want to just keep going adding a heap of fuel to that thing. It just changes the way they drive too much, and in my opinion there's a sweet point with every package that is the optimal for that. And with the A442F 4-speed FTEs, I believe that to be around 300 to 330 horsepower and no more. You start to get a bit of diminishing returns after that number. So the green wheel, I mean, that's good up to about 270 to 300 horsepower at the wheels. So I would go for a set of plus 30 injectors. Now, on the topic of plus 30 injectors, the word plus 30 is such a universally thrown around thing. With plus 30s, what one diesel shop says is plus 30s may not be the same as what another diesel shop says are plus 30s. So when we say plus 30s, we really mean it. It is a plus 30 injector. We know that because we have a plus 17, a plus 50, a plus 70, and a plus 90. So the plus 30s that we provide, they're kind of on the smaller side, like they'll only do 300 horsepower, but they make a really nice 300 horsepower. Instead of putting it, I've had plus 30s come in from other diesel shops that when you drop them in and simply clamp the map sensor voltage, which is how you stop the boost cut happening on an FTE in the unit chip, I have them go and run 300 horsepower out of the box. And to me, that's more like a plus 50 injector. So we've seen all these nozzle sizes and we've decided what we want to use, and our plus 30 is out of the box. It makes about 220 horsepower and it's good up to about 300. So that's an answer to that. The reason I like them so much is because that they're clean, they're not super smoky. They are, yeah, that's pretty much 2 reasons. They're clean, super smoky, and easy to tune for the autos, because I find that in the automatics, if you start cutting down the map sensor voltage too much in the unit chip, you start to lose the way the transmission, like how nice the transmission operates, because it references off that a little bit for load and gear changes. So you don't want to go below like 2.8 volts, for example, because that's about 15 PSI boost. And if you do go below that, they start hunting gears and doing other weird stuff. So yeah, plus 30s, you would get about 300 horsepower, or 280 to 300 horsepower, about 750 to 800 newton meters of torque. So very long answer, but that's what I would recommend there. And then, of course, once you buy those injectors, if you're going to grab them from us, you can send that uni chip back to us because it's a pre-tuned module, and we can update the tuning to suit your mods, and that is absolutely free. We provide that as a service to anybody that buys the uni chip from us and then comes back and continues to purchase products through our website. We absolutely support those updates entirely free of charge. Alrighty, J Bay has the same question about what injectors to get more torque and power in his HDJ 100 with the 5-speed A750. Jay, what you say it's got a new turbo and intercooler? What turbo's on it and what intercooler's on it? Because that really does depend, you know, how you build your upgrades around it. To answer the question generally, without knowing specifically what you have, the best injector upgrade you can do for the A750F 5-speed auto 100 series is a set of the plus 17s. These come out of the box at about 200 horsepower, between 180 to 200 horsepower at the wheels, and they're good up to about 270 horsepower. So at 270 horsepower, we find we're making about 700 to 750 newton meters of torque, and that seems to be the sweet spot for the 100 series FTE engine with the 5-speed auto. We don't have any issues with them braking at that power level. We don't have any issues with 4th and 5th slipping at that power level. So highly recommend the plus 17s generally as an upgrade to the A750F. If you go too big of an injector, you can't, as I said before, you can't reduce that map sensor voltage too far, and essentially you limit yourself as to how much fuel you can reduce out of the ECU, because on the 1HD FTE, they're a non-solenoid injector. They're a mechanical injector, so you cannot control the injectors uniquely. You're relying on the spill valve to control fueling, and then the factory ECU as well. The map sensor voltage also adds fueling, so it goes up to 3.6 volts, which then is fed into the ECU, which then also the ECU adds its own fueling, as well as you have the injector natural fueling of the bigger injector going in as well. So if you start reducing the map voltage, if you're still following on the sensor below say 3 volts, then what happens is you start to upset that transmission's load sensing quite a lot with the power that it's making. So going for not too big of an injector on an A750 is really important. Jason says, I've got a unit chip on order from you guys and already have your plus 70s for the FTE, can't wait. Jason, I'm pretty sure I did a heap of them yesterday. I'd check if we send it out. If not, I'll make sure they're all done. Look up Jason. Let me look at that one. Oh yeah, we just got that one, Jason. That one is sitting there ready to go. I had a look at that one yesterday. I'll make sure that one gets done tomorrow for you. Got that one a couple of days ago, so we'll get that all put together and out the door for you tomorrow, mate. So look forward to that. Thanks for your message too, I appreciate it. And your order. And everything. And just for supporting us. You've placed 5 orders for us. Absolutely love it and appreciate it, mate. G-Turbo G400. We have VD G400, which, for what engine? We have G400s in stock for the 1VD, the titanium. So we have them on the shelf here, but it just depends on what engine you're talking about. FT100 series? Yeah, we'd probably be about a week to week and a half lead time on that one. We've run out of stock of the G400 titaniums. Those are such a good turbo for 400 horsepower. Those titanium compressor wheels, they seem to be incredibly strong, incredibly durable. Haven't seen one break. So they're, yeah, for 400 horsepower, man, great turbo. Absolutely killer turbo. Matt has asked, when FTEs roll onto the dyno, what issues do we commonly see as to why the car is down on power, boost leaks, etc.? So problem number 1 that we see on 1HD FTEs is the map sensor filter is cracked. So all the lines going to it are perished. So from factory, Toyota just kind of like glues those map sensor hoses on, and then by the time you've got the car 20 years later from when it's new, all that glue is perished, and then because they're a tapered hose fitting, they just sort of expand out, add time, heat, age, everything to it, and then you've got a really loose fitting on the map sensor filter. So my first thing I always do is ideally I replace them with the stainless steel one. If they're not cracked, then you know that it's not going to happen in the future, but I always go and check the map sensor filter first. The way you can check that is by taking it off, having a look at it. First of all, if there's a lot of oil around it, then that's an indication that it's leaking. From you got a bit of crankcase ventilation oil weeping out of it. But you can have a look at the underside of it. It's going to have like a hairline crack essentially, a little like hairline weep hole of oil coming out of it from the bottom generally. That's the most common thing we see as like number 1, and then go ahead and replace all those silicone vacuum hoses either with a genuine hose that we've got here, like we sell really commonly, because the genuine stuff is actually really, really good. Most aftermarket hoses are made in China, and the thick wall stuff works really well, but it's hard to get hose that is as thin as the factory made it. So that's the issue there with using like a aftermarket hose on the vacuum. So that's number 1. That's the first thing. Replace all the vacuum hoses and the map sensor filter. Problem number 2 is age of injectors. So if I ever put a car on the dyno, I can pretty well promise a standard FTE most of the time with an intercooler will go about 200 horsepower and 600 newton meters. When they don't do that and they're underperforming, and I can tell from how hard I'm having to try and push the fuel system in the unit chip to get it to make power, is generally going to be something like injectors. That's the next thing. So injectors, a lot of these cars have 300,000 Ks and they've never had a set of injectors. So injectors are a cheap thing to replace in comparison to the price of the engine. Like you're spending $1,650 on a high flow set. and like $1,450 or $1,700. I can't remember all the numbers on a standard set of injectors. So so going and doing that, that having old injectors kills power. Problem number 3 is the intake manifold weeping. So they come loose over years where they have like a foam gasket on the intake manifold, and once upon a time they were tightened up to a certain torque number, and then over years, you know, the foam's deteriorated, then the bolts come loose, so the gasket itself becomes sort of, you know, shrinks down a bit. So like where it was once tight, this surface is now a smaller thing, and now it's not got the same pressure. So intake manifold gaskets. We don't see any really bad EGR buildup that would inhibit power on an FTE, but do see that still in the intake, so always recommend cleaning those. What else? Pumps around 400,000 Ks. They can start to rob a bit of power, but that's when you're starting to get into the nitty gritty a bit. They're the top 3 things that kill power on a 1HD FTE
Yeah,
as it goes in our dyno.
I can do for Matt as well. I can send him a link to that article you put up the other day. Like common issues.
So Matt, on our website, at the bottom, like in our blogs area, I've got an article I wrote on how to actually tune a 1HD FTE engine. And in the bottom of that, I'm going to send you a link via text now, Matt. In the bottom of that is a whole section on diagnosing low power issues on a 1HD FTE. Have a read of that. That's basically the first things I always tell people to look at. Jason, do I know what sort of power I'd be looking at on the power tune for the Unichip? So with plus 70s and a G400 pre-tuned, I would imagine between 360 to 380. Maybe go around 400 depending on tyre size and stuff like that. Yeah, pretty comfortably go around those numbers, I would imagine. Thing is going to make like over 900 Newton meters of torque, maybe even 1,000. Probably up around that sort of 1,000. That thing's going to be a rocket ship, mate.
We've got another player into the chat. Well, Brock Carr's order just came through. Thanks, Brock.
Brock, we got your order. Thank you.
I can send that one now too.
Player number 2 in the chat. Matt's going to send it right now.
Yeah, I'm going to do that too.
Brock, your order is being sent live on air, mate. Tell me someone else that's going to send your order.
I'll even show you the turbo. We'll prove it's alive before we send it.
It's all right. I'm sure he believes you, mate. He's come this far. Don't forget your
It's
mind.
going to get tomorrow anyway at this rate.
Before you start going down and saying racial slurs, mate. Jaden, have I ever tuned an FTE with a VNT G turbo? Any pros versus cons against gated? Currently have a G turbo HD G400, but just interested in comparison if I've done a VNT on an FTE. So I have done one G turbo VNT here on an FTE. It was very responsive. We didn't get the whole job done because there was some issues with the engine. It had a stroker engine that was in it, and there was some issues that pulled us up on the dyno. We were checking things because it was a new engine, had some metal in the oil and stuff like that, so I had to pull it all up. But that had a huge water-to-air intercooler system on it, and I remember watching it from the outside. I had one of the other boys running it in on the dyno, and it had so much boost going through it that the top tank of the intercooler started to bow out because it was like straight up from the turbo. Like the turbo was here, the intercooler sat here, and the air just come up and shot it and bowed it out. So obviously there was a lot of air volume going on there. That was a G400, or I don't even know if they were called that at the time. It was a blue wheel G turbo, and it ended up getting replaced with a titanium because the build took a couple of years, like the customer just going back and forward on restoration stuff, and by the time it was ready to be tuned, there was like a newer, better product out. So I believe it got replaced, and then it did get tuned. It was super responsive, and then it bent all 6 rods because it got replaced with a standard engine. So then Jordan Baker from Only Land Cruisers put a set of billet rods in it, and haven't heard since. And that's actually sometimes the best news of all when you're building cars in a good way. You generally don't hear things. If there's problems, you generally hear them. So not hearing anything at all is a good thing. So I'm assuming it's going good. Pros and cons on gated. Going gated is just a choice. It's just another form of turbo boost control. I don't know why there's such an argument for and against, like, you know, just in general. Like, it's just another form of boost control. Like, gated has its place. I have a gated turbo on my 1VD, my 79. I really like gated turbos. I really like tuning gated turbos. I really like the power a gated turbo can make, and I really like the unquestionable reliability that a gated turbo has. So I'm a big fan of gated turbos for that reason. I love them. So a VNT turbo though, you know, when you put your foot down at 1500 RPM and it smashes 30 pound of boost, I don't always feel that boost equals power. Because it has boost, it feels like, you know, it picks up and starts to move, but it's not like 30 pound is that impressive at 1500 RPM. That 30 pound of boost at, 3000 RPM is a hell of a lot more fun. So boost is not just boost all the time. 30 pound of boost at a low RPM doesn't work the same as 30 pound of boost at a high RPM. So it really just depends how you're driving your car. I like a balance. I don't want a car to be so responsive that it just, you know, lights tires off the lights. I like to get moving a little bit, put my foot down and feel a huge rush of torque come on. And that's the thing I get out of a gated turbo. So big fan for that reason. Hopefully I answered all your questions there. If you have any other questions about that, shoot them through. Luke has asked, have I come across any issues with the diffs or axles in a 100 series pushing the big torque and horsepower? Front diff, yes, 100%, and axles. That is that is something. I'm guilty of this. I have accidentally forgotten to tell a few customers when they get 300 horsepower packages in an all-wheel drive 100 series about the fact that they should probably convert it to a rear-wheel drive only setup, because we send that car out the door and on the test drive it's like steering this way, that way. And had another customer, we did a 300 horsepower package on his all-wheel drive 100 series, and he'd launched it trying to do a burnout, as you do, and yeah, blew the front diff and snapped the rear tail shaft. So look, it all depends how you drive your car. At the end of the day, I have never sold a rear diff for a 100 series in my life, or a rear axle, and we sell a lot of parts, so I can't imagine that they're like out there popping. They have very strong axle studs and strong rear diffs. They're a big rear diff. So in general, no, it's not a big problem. It depends how you drive it. Jason has asked, have you guys done any testing between bar and plate and tube and fin intercoolers and different brands? Any noticeable differences? So yes, I have actually done a fair bit of work back and forward with intercoolers. The two main brands of intercooler that we supply at HD, and it's for good reason, is PDI and Cooling Pro. Hugh, I'm going to ask you, Hugh, if you could tell me more about what you've already done to your FTE. I'll answer that question next. Oh, you deleted it. I don't know. Tell me more and I'll answer your question. So going back to bar and plate and tube and fin. So bar and plate is, in my opinion, the way to go on a four-wheel drive for a couple of reasons. It's strong as hell. It's super rigid. So when you fit it to the front of your car, your rad support, and mount things to it and below it to support it, it's just super rigid. Like it's meant to be there. I've proved in some old videos, just for having a bit of fun, nothing serious. I've thrown like Besser blocks and sticks and tried to, put it on a gutter and jump and snap a bar and plate intercooler in half. Because of course people are always worried about putting sticks through their radiator and intercooler. You just can't do it. They're super strong. So bar and plate is a really strong intercooler. The way that bar and plate works, it does have like a really high volume of cooling, but the drawback is it doesn't let as much air through because you're hitting like a flat surface where those bars are. More importantly, the material on the inside of the cooler is what matters the most. You can have like PWR, for example, spend ages putting certain material on the inside of the cooler and through the cooling channels that help dissipate heat better than maybe a $300 eBay intercooler. But the argument that it's worth like an extra $1,000 for that at the level of which most of us enjoy our cars, which is below 400 horsepower, is not quite there for me, even though intercooling on a diesel is more important than anything considering they're always on boost. My pick is bar and plate, or PDI also use bar and plate. I just find the tube and fin ones, like Aero, like I don't want to name names, but I've seen it like Aeroflow intercoolers bellow out a lot. Like I've actually seen like on the amount of boost diesels run like 30 to 40 pound of boost. I've seen them like bellow the tanks and stuff like that. Maybe it was one off, I don't know. But yeah, I prefer bar and plate. Like even on Sam Young's 1000 horsepower 1FZ, we just used a Cooling Pro 4-inch thick bar and plate 600 by 300 by 76 intercooler, and that works. Just like turbos, I halve the efficiency of an intercooler to suit it. So if an intercooler says it's good for 800 horsepower on a petrol, then it's probably only good for like 400 horsepower on a diesel. So that's in my head how I work with it. But yeah, I stick to bar and plate for strength and rigidity reasons. All right, we're not shutting up just yet, but wow, I've talked a lot. Might lose my voice doing this, Pasco. What do you reckon? Pasco, can we do anything cool with the screen or anything like that? I don't know. What can we do? Can you put a little thing up there that says people, like, just put their first names, current orders. We've taken 2 orders. So we've taken an order for Eros, and we took an order for Brock on his turbo. So what time should we run this? We got to cap it off at some point. I reckon we'll give it 15 minutes. What do you think before we run the draw? All right. So in 15 minutes from now, we're going to run the draw. That is big. We're going to run the draw for the 2 people who have placed orders with us tonight, which is Brock and Eros. They picked up some parts for their 1KD Hilux, which is amazing. One got a turbo and a fitting kit, one got an intercooler. So one of those people, 100%, are taking $500 off their order tonight. So props to you guys, and I appreciate the call, Brock. So we look forward to running that in about 10 minutes time. If you want to halve or quarter their chances or third their chances of winning, now's your time to call in. So yeah. All right, Hugh Johnson, what should my next mod be for my FTE? Currently have lift, tires, 3-inch exhaust, waiting on the Unichip and gauges to come through, can't wait. And what will benefit the motor the most without retune? Intercooler, airbox, snorkel, part-time kit injectors. What are your thoughts on mechanical locker for the front? All right. Excuse me, I feel like I'm gonna burp. I'm drinking a Coke, no sugar, and it's doing things to me. All right. So it sounds like you have 100 series based on the fact that you've asked if you should do a part-time kit. I reckon I'll just start there. The part-time kit I recommend 100%. It's just simply because when you add power to them, the front ends, they do a lot of torque steering. So eliminating that before you even go near performance upgrades is a huge upgrade to do in general. It really helps the way that the power is delivered to the wheels. So we got the, and then it already has a factory intercooler, which works pretty good with the standard turbo. I wouldn't go crazy unless you're towing a big caravan on upgrading the intercooler until you make a choice of doing like a turbo and an intercooler. The other reason for that too is it means that you're gonna combine the upgrade together and get the most out of the package, because there's different pipe work that runs for different turbochargers. So if you've got an intercooler for your standard turbo now, and you decided you wanted to upgrade later, you would have to change that hot side piping. So save that upgrade for a package and then get both at once. Benefiting the engine the most without a retune, everything from this point in time kind of comes down to a retune. So you start with the Unichip. That in itself is going to satisfy 90% of your desire to have a bit more torque and power on the FTE. After that, you've got to kind of look at bundling things up together. Like, you know, a turbo and intercooler will give you another sort of 15 to 20% improvement in performance, up to about 230 to 40 horsepower reliably, and 700 newton meters, up from say 200 and 600 on the standard turbo and intercooler. And then if you were to look at the injectors, that's where all your headroom is going to come from. So using a UFI 18G, for example, that's good on standard injectors up to 230, 240 horsepower. If you bang a set of plus 30s in there, that's now suddenly good for 300. And I think that's a really nice number, 300 to 320 horsepower for most people. I feel like engine's going to last. Your car's going to drive good. Yeah, it's going to be clean, economical. Yeah. So what do we got? So intercooler, airbox you need after 260 horsepower. Snorkel, I recommend a Safari R-Max, or if you want to do like a stainless, they flow pretty good as well. Yeah. Piles of cash inbound. Hey?
I just interrupt for a sec. Brock, your order's on the way, mate, so thank you.
Brock, if you're still watching, your order is literally shipped. That's it.
It's gone.
It's already out the door. It's in dispatch. It's literally shipped. So not only are you placing your order live, we're actually shipping them live.
Are we still got 2 orders?
Right now we do. I've given the chance for others to come forward. I haven't quite got anyone just yet.
We've got Josh in the DMs here. Have you already? Is Josh in that DM as well?
Hey, no. Oh, so he's texted that number.
Yeah.
I can call Josh.
Oh, just give Josh a bell.
720. Sorry, Josh, we missed some of your messages, man. I'll come back to that in a sec. And then a mechanical front locker in your 100 series. I don't know. I haven't really done much with them. I've heard them be kind of noisy and hard to steer because they don't disengage and stuff like that. I reckon selectable lockers are top tier, and you're going to spend that money pulling diff apart, doing all that. I reckon just take the extra steps and do it so it's selectable. It's the best way to go.
No, I think Josh is Hugh.
Hey?
I think Josh is Hugh.
No, I don't know.
They're both asking about a locker.
Hugh. Are you Josh?
Hugh Johnson.
Huge John. I got that. You got us. You almost. I didn't say your full name out loud.
Yeah. And his mate Wayne
Hugh
Kerr.
Johnson. His mate is Wayne Kerr. What's the other one? There's a few of those out there, isn't there?
A few of those, yeah.
Don't worry, mate. You almost got me. When I'm in the zone, I'm easily fooled. Compound FTE setups, and can you recommend a turbo combo? Tarosi Motorsport in Harvey Bay does a compound setup that seems to work. Makes like 550 horsepower or something like that. I don't know what he's using, but yeah, that seems to work good. The thing is with compounds, you have to literally double the size of that like primary turbo. So if you have like, the idea is let's use like 18G as an example. So if you use an 18G as your primary turbo and then you want to compound it, what you're trying to achieve is the equivalent of 2 18Gs feeding that one 18G. So that's the simplest way of explaining it. You need to find a turbo that is gonna, double its airflow. So it's a very complicated thing to do because you got to balance a lot of things. I think there's a lot of work to be done in compound FTE stuff. Tarosi Motorsport has done that one that he's got, and it makes a lot of power. Runs a 12-second quarter. He won our trophy at King of the Strip for a 12-second pass in his 80 series Land Cruiser, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's what Tarosi Motorsport knows heaps about that stuff. Tarosi, hope I'm saying it right. Check them out. What are we, like 7 minutes away from announcing? Running the draw between Eros and Brock. Yeah, so it's been a huge week.
Yeah, still good odds, mind you, if someone else wants to call in, split it 3 ways.
All right, I'll talk a bit about what we actually did today at HD. Finished up, we replaced a set of piezo injectors in a 79 series DPF model. They have a common issue where they start breaking. They throw up P020 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 codes, which is an injector open circuit code. Normally it's just 1 and people want to replace 1, and then guess what? It happens again, and then it does another 1 and another 1. So you just got to replace the whole set. Kind of expensive, $6,500 for a set of injectors. They're genuine Denso, but they take only a couple hours to swap out. So what you spend on injectors, you save in labor because of how easy they are to do. We also finished a VDJ 270 multi-map package on a 79 series Land Cruiser. And that went amazing. Just under 300 horsepower and 904 newton meters torque with the multi-map package. Wow, absolutely love that. That drove amazing. Matt FTE 105 has asked us, are you guys looking to start going down the path of 8? I'm guessing you meant to say 8 HPs. I've driven a few of them. They drive really nice. They're a great transmission. Yeah, so I don't see why not. We just don't do a whole lot of what I would call custom work at our shop anymore because we're so busy dispatching your orders live on air. So I would 100% put an 8 HP into a car because the boys at 8 Speed have done a heap of work making them fit easily and have a easy experience putting them in. Yeah, I want to do more of them. I've never done one. I've just driven them, and they're pretty cool. They're the only that and like if you could get like an AB60 to work out of a 200 series, they're the two autos I would like to see more of in you know, an older FTA. My dream build that I think I'm gonna do, depending how well this podcast goes, if it goes,
We're doing a few more at this rate.
could do a few more podcasts. If it's on this current trajectory, we've doubled the amount of people who ordered us from last week. So if we can double it again next week, we're really hitting a home run, and you can see some pretty cool builds start to come to life. Next week we are doing, not next week, on my head, I'm cooked. My dream build, I want to get a Prado, like an old KZJ 78 series Prado. Coil all around. I want to rip the KZ out of it and I want to put an FTE into it. It's already coil around, and then those Prados look like current, you know, 70 series wagons. Then go and get the current facelift front end, put that on it so it looks like a brand new 70 series.
I think it needs a KD in it.
No, it doesn't.
I think it needs a KD.
Is an AB60 already in and working in a 105 currently? Where? Bring it to me. I want to see this and experience it. Bring it to me. I want to see it.
Yeah, else we should mention those two baddies this week.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
we built two. You probably saw we did a video, bit of a piss take the other day on how TD42s are $42,000 now, and you can actually build a 400 horsepower FTE for less with bolt-ons. So TD42 long engine from Petrol Apart, which is a genuine Nissan engine, is $42,000 now, bare. So we did two built FTEs this week for a lot less than that.
Yeah, 400 horsepower FTEs. They're like 36 with the turbo manifold
Pump,
injector everything
lines
strapped to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everything you need for a conversion, but if you've already got an FTE, it's like a no-brainer as a swap over.
You could almost just buy the whole package, put it in your car pre-done, sell your good engine for 20 grand. Profit.
No, people consider that when they call us.
Should I just
People
buy
are
the
trying
whole
to like calculate the economics of doing that with us over the phone, and you're kind of like, I guess it makes sense.
We're 3 minutes away from announcing a winner here.
We also had that surf in this week. That everyone secretly liked the surf.
We all love a good old
It's been a
surf.
minute since we had a surf in the shop.
We did a KZN 185 Toyota Hilux Surf. That's the late model 1KZ engine with the, we fitted a uni chip to that one. They make about 87 horsepower out of the box. That one made 80, and you tune them up to about 130. They're a factory intercooled engine, and they're the last thing that existed before the 1KD came about. So Jack has asked when HD is going to do a drift car build. We are.
Already done them.
We have done them. We have experienced them. Are we going back to them? I don't think so.
Not at this point in time.
I don't think we're going to do any more drift car builds. I'm sorry, Jack.
The yellow ute was kind of maybe that, but
Could have drifted.
Could have never.
You'll probably see a drag car from us before we build a drift car anymore.
I think everyone wants to see the drag KD.
We have an engine there that is going to become a thing. It's sitting there ready to become a thing. We just don't know what to put it in.
Yeah.
JJ says please.
JJ wants us to build a drift car really badly. Yeah, Max should have his AB60 done soon. Yeah, I don't know if you know, Jason, but Max actually just spent the past 4 years working here at HD, so we're good friends with Max. We love Max.
Shout out to Max.
Shout out to
We're
Max.
overdue for a dinner date, Max. You keep saying we're going to do it.
So Max Pascoe is indeed in your seat, keeping it warm. So yeah, we were talking to Max about his AB60, and that's what I would like to see done, an AB60 from Hyperfab. Looking forward to seeing that. 1KD, 180 drift car. We are in the final minute before we announce a winner. We're going to do it live on air. Pascoe, how's it work? What is that we're doing? We're putting up the wheel. We have a wheel. We have a wheel of fortune.
I was going to say, if you want to
talk
about Wild KD, shout out to Shanks.
All right, shout out time. Ryan Shanks from Shanksy's Build on YouTube. I'm going to throw it up on the screen here. Shanksy's Build is... that is a thing. Shanksy's Build. Let's have a look. Let me flick this bitch up.
Proving that KDs are, once again, God's engine.
All right. Oh, I don't know what I did there. Shanksy. Oh my goodness. All right, Shanksy's Builds. This bloke here. Huge shout out to Shanksy's Builds. If you're watching right now and you want to see some really good content on YouTube, some real raw content of a real workshop building real engines, building real high-powered KDs, this is the thing to watch. These guys are doing absolute wonders in the world of diesel performance in WA. Alrighty, let's take a look, guys. Brock, Eros, get ready. We are spinning a wheel. It looks like Pepsi Max.
Put your face on first.
My face? Hold on.
Put your...
Oh, I'm nervous. Brock and Eros. Oh, I'm nervous. Oh my goodness. What system are we
I was
using?
going to say pick a side, but they're both KD guys. So
I know, I'm all for both of
boys.
them. So what is this program, this wheel? What is
It's
it?
just a random, spin a wheel.
What website is it?
Wheel of names.
So we're using wheelofnames.com. We've entered both your names into wheelofnames.com, and we are going to spin the wheel in a minute. Pascoe is he's trying to overlay my face on the wheel. If we can turn that into a wheel one day, Pascoe, behind me, that little tree, then that would probably be the way to go. So buckle in, boys. Eros and Brock, we are getting, here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Spin that bitch up. Oh! Eros. Brock, don't worry. You're going to be in our hands soon for a tune, and that we'll find a way to look after you, mate. We don't want to leave a man disappointed. Just hit us up, mate. Don't stress. We're all for the boys. Eros, congratulations. You have won $500 off your order.
I'll do that immediately.
He's going to do it right now, so it's going to come straight back to you now. Brock, don't stress, mate. We will see you very soon, and don't worry. We got little handshake deals we can work on, mate. Don't you worry about that. We don't want anyone disappointed on the 50-50 splits. All right, Eros. In a minute. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, done.
It's already done.
Congratulations, mate. That's $500 off something you were going to buy and spend the money anyway. So
That's it.
Pretty happy about that.
That's it. It's done. That's done. Don't worry, Brock.
I felt good.
We'll see you soon, Brock. Don't worry. Don't worry, mate. All right. For everyone that is supporting us, thank you so much. We absolutely love and appreciate all of you. This is incredible to be able to do this sort of stuff, and we really look forward to where this goes. And any of you guys are all early days supporters. You guys are day ones. You guys are reaping the absolute rewards of being a part of this. So I look forward to spread the news. Eros, you especially, mate. You are in a highly profitable position now.
He's winning. He's got a facelift N70. He's got an intercooler kit on the way. $500 back in his bank account.
So it's already been shipped. You've already received $500 back. What more do you want?
Yeah.
That's that simple. So do us a favor now and tell your mates, tell everyone that you won $500 off at HD Hotline, and we will see you again next week.
Yeah, that's really exciting. So see you next week.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. That's it. Good night. Love you all. Appreciate you.